Hello, welcome to Central. Today we are going to solve the day 6 of September Leet Code Challenge. So today's problem name is image overlap. So basically, if you read the problem statement, it's saying that we will be given two matrices. You can think those as image. So it's a binary matrix. So it will contain only 0 and 1 value. And so suppose one matrix name is A, another matrix name is B, and we need to go. So suppose this is my matrix A, right? So I need to overlap it with matrix B, and so suppose in this case this particular cell is overlapping, right? So whatever cells are overlapping, and if its value is 1, then we need to keep tracking those 1 value, and at the end we need to return after checking all the possible overlapping condition, and we need to return the maximum number of 1 we can overlap. Okay, so this is the problem statement and we need to solve it. And so whenever we will try to find out all the combination, so suppose it's my matrix A, right? I can move in 4 direction. I can move to right, I can move to down, I can move to upper, and I can move to left. So in this 4 direction I can move, and using this 4 direction I need to check that all the overlapping value, and I need to return the maximum number of overlapping 1 value, or where the cell value is 1. Okay, so this is the problem statement. So how we can solve it? So basically we are going to use a simple algorithm. Basically, suppose this is my matrix A, this is my matrix B. I will start from probably from a minus value. So it's here its length is 3, right? So I will start from -3, and so row value will be -3 and column value will be -3, right? To check the possible combination. So initially it will be like this. Then probably I will move forward like this, right? So I will start from here. Then again I will check, then again I can see here my only one cell is overlapping, right? 0, but that's not a 1, so we can ignore that. Then we will move further. Again 2 cells will overlap, so again this time 3 cell will overlap, right? So again this is in this way we will keep checking. Okay, again we will move like this, and it will move till here, right? So here it can, like this we can go from right to left. Okay, and similarly we can do that from same for left to right, up to bottom also, right? So it at first we will check like this, then 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 like this, then like this. Okay, so we need to basically check all the possible combination, and while checking this combination we need to keep tracking the total number of total number of cells which has 1 value. Okay, so let's try to write the code same for using Java. So okay, so at first what I need to do, what I will do, I will take one variable called length, and we are going to store the, so since it's a square matrix, so if square matrix means if it has 3 rows it will have 3 columns only. So we will take a dot length probably. Okay, so now it will contain our length of any of the one matrix. Okay, now I am going to take another variable where I am going to store the result, right? So total number of maximum value of 1, right? So initially it will be 0. Now what I will do, I will run one for loop, and again it will start from, probably let us name it as a row offset, something like that, and it will start from minus length, right? Basically, why minus length? Because we need to consider extreme left and extreme up also, right? Since we can move into 4 directions, so it should be minus length, and it will run till arrow is less than length, actual length, right? That means, so we will start from here, we will check like this, we will go like this, and we will go till there, right? So it should be minus length. Okay, and after that we are going to increment our arrow variable, and once we are done we need to check the column value also similarly. So we need another nested for loop for column also, right? So it should be int column offset, you can say. Again it will start from minus length only, and it will again run till co is less than length and co plus plus. Okay, so this is for just moving, right? So all the possible, we are checking all the possible overlapping condition. Okay, so like this, like this, like this. Now we need to count. So suppose it is looking like this, right? Now I need to cross check these two values are matching or not. If it is matching, then we need to check it's a 1 or not. Okay, so we need to write logic for the same also. Okay, let's do that. So we are going to create separate method, or use separate method for the same. So what I will do, so we already declare this result method, right? Result variable, right? In which we are going to keep tracking the maximum number of 1. So we are going to do like this. So we can use math.max function, and we will check the existing result value or we are going to call our count function, you can say. So count, in count function we are going to pass 4 things. One should be that A, then B, then we are going to pass our row offset value, and we are going to pass our column offset value. Okay, this value is, it will return integer value, and we will take the maximum one. Okay, and once we are done, we can return max. We can return the result. Okay, so whatever the maximum result, we are going to return that. Let's quickly implement this count also. So in this count method, we are going to keep tracking the total number of overlap 1. Okay, so it should be a private method. We can declare it as a private method, since it's not being used in any other places or any other classes. And here we are going to return the integer value, actually the count value, and its name will be count only. And we are passing 4 parameter here, so it should be int A and int B, they're both array. And we are going to also pass the row offset and column offset. Okay, so now what I need to do, I need to take another local variable to keep tracking the count, right? So let us name it as counter, and it should be initially 0. Now again I need to, so suppose it's looking like this, right? Now I need to again iterate this array and these two array, right? A and B both array, and we need to check the actual value is matching or not. So again I need 2 more for loops. So again let us name it as int r. In this time it will start, since we are comparing with B, so it will start from 0, no negative value. Okay, so again r should be equals to 0, then r should be probably a dot length, or then r plus plus. Okay, and after that what I will do, again I need to check the same for column also, right? So int c should be initially 0, and again less than a dot length and c plus plus. Okay, cool. Now what I need to check the value, right? So so we can't compare these two value, right? This value and this value. Since it's a negative value, it will throw me array out of bound index out of bound exception, right? So we should not consider those scenario, right? So we should check those boundary condition. So again I will check if my r plus our offset value is, that is RO we are passing, right? If it is less than 0, or r plus RO is greater than or equal to our length, a dot length probably, or we need to check the same for column also, right? So c plus co column offset is less than 0, or c plus c column offset is greater than equals to a dot length or b dot length, whatever. Then we are going to skip that position, right? So we will do continue, else we will check the actual value, right? So now I will check if it is not satisfying the above condition, then it will come here. Then we will check if my a, so for a we are going to take this value, right? R plus RO, row plus row index. Okay, and column value will be similarly c plus column index, column offset. Okay, if it is equals to 1, and I will check the b value also. So in this case we can, for b we can take the actual r and c value. Okay, equals to 1, then both are equal and both value are 1, then we can increment our counter value. Okay, so counter should be plus plus. Okay, I think that's pretty much, and once we are done with our for loop, we can return counter. Okay, I think that's pretty much. Let's quickly run the code and check whether it's compiling or not. Okay, yeah, I think it's compiling and it's giving me expected answer. Let's quickly submit our answer also and check whether it's accepted or not. Yeah, I think our solution is accepted. So let's try to analyze the time and space complexity for this solution. So you can see that we are using 4 for loop basically, right? This one, the first for loop, then the second, then again we are calling count method. In the count method we are using 2 more for loop. So obviously the time complexity in this case is order of n to the power 4, since we are iterating through 2 matrices, right? So time complexity will be order of n to the power 4 in worst case scenario. And what about the space complexity? We are not using any extra spaces, so space complexity you can say it's constant, right? Order of 1 you can say. I think that's pretty much for this video. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, and if you still have some doubt, you can ask me in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.